All right, finally got the camera working, acting up again. If you remember on my Aerosport panel, I had a couple of these cinch nuts or PEM nuts or whatever they're called, clinching nuts. So I went on Amazon, I ordered some more. If you're not familiar with them, they're pretty cool. Very small. And basically I'm doing a couple of tests before I attempt to do my panel. I'm also going to plan on mounting the avionics that way. And all you do, well, this is what I've learned so far, so take it for what it's worth. You drill a number 11 hole. .3/16, number 11, whatever. Take the edge off. And then, so I put it in the back, kind of just sits there, and you put it in with my beloved rivet squeezer. Get my money's worth out of this thing after all. So do not squeeze too hard. Just a gentle, delicate stuff. The first one I squeezed so hard it even deformed the metal on there. And then I guess my other advice is hand tight. You know, I did a couple with the gun, you know, torquing it down, torquing it out. I'm trying to see if it would fall out. I couldn't really get it to push out the other way. And I think it's just designed for light duty, you know, hand tighten it on there and get it in and out. So very lightweight, low profile. It's a pretty cool thing, new to me. So I experimenting with it and figured I'd share. I was able to fix the PEM nuts with the rivet squeezer, or I think this one and that one came out, so I'm happy about that. Kind of squeeze those back in. Right now I'm laying out, we gotta trim this panel a little bit lower here for the 650, the COM, and the autopilot. And I think I'll use those same nuts to mount. Like I said, we don't have this one, but I'm gonna put 2 here and then 2 here. And that'll allow us to mount the cages for those. Assembled in the USA. Well, I think Garmin's American made, so that's always a good selling point, but they surely struggle being German with the way they do some stuff, like the tolerances. So I'm trying to measure to get this all nice and lined up, and there's no rhyme or reason. So this is whatever, 2 3/8 wide, but these things are just like randomly stamped in there. They're lower on one side and higher on the other, so it means I can't even drill my holes. I have to drill them offset left to right in order for this cage to fit. I'm only wondering what would happen if you ever have to replace the cage if the next one is stamped the same way. Kind of frustrating, but we'll get through it. Sorry about that rant. I decided to just rivet it. I figured if you need to drill them out, you need to drill them out. And it was the smallest way of mounting them, because if you put it in the middle of that 1/2-inch bar, it gets very close to some of the rivets that I have here. So my little PEM nuts or cinch nuts or whatever they're called didn't quite fit nicely. I could move it up. I couldn't put riv nuts, I couldn't put nuts, I couldn't put bolts, I couldn't put speed clips because this is too tight. So rivets it was. They're countersunk on the inside. They're actually just 42 rivets, but they are recessed on the inside. So these things, the tolerances are so sloppy that they slide in no matter what. So that's what I decided, and I'll do the same with the 650 when that comes. Obviously I have to make a bracket for the back where it sits in the center stack. Project for another day. Good night. There you have it. They are mounted, they are installed. I haven't put the back strap on yet because I'm still waiting for the 650, and it's all assembled. We got the ignition boxes mounted in location, the backup battery, the one that we have, the bracket for the other one, so that goes there. The hole for the firewall cut out. I even made little handles so you can carry the box. the hideaways for the Garmin, vertical power. And I came up, I talked early on about a LED housing, just to hide the little dotty LEDs. I found an even lighter, thinner, more flexible one that's kind of tinted, so it really kind of matches the carbon fiber. And also found a couple of dimmers that I really like that have nice switches. I mean, like nice knobs. Thinking about putting them here and here. One will be for the display dimmer, which are the LCD screens and all the lighting basically in here. And the other one's a cabin dimmer, which will be all of the LED strips and ambient red lighting. And then I think the cockpit lights, the bright white lights, will either just be on a switch at the light, or we'll put a switch here. Got this guy back in, and yeah, this should be ready for George to wire, and hopefully we'll catch some video as that progresses. And we are on to probably finish the brake lines. Those came in, and fuel lines, and all the other stuff that needs to get done in here. So making progress, very happy. So now I had this idea of putting a glove box in here, but instead of a glove box, I think like a slide out glove box. There's so much room, I hate to waste it. So we got like 2 inches times 6 1/4 times very deep. So I'm chopping up some metal. I'm just playing. I don't know if it'll evolve to anything, but I'm gonna try and bend this 30,000 6061 on my chintzy little Harbor Freight press. Brake. Made my little relief cuts in there, 90-degree angle. This is 6 5/16 across, and oh my god! So that fits like a glove. Oh, like yeah, protruded a little bit above there. So that's gonna be the top, and the idea is just to have like a long sliding drawer that kind of latches in the back, and then only pulls out, you know, far enough that you know, so it doesn't fall out. And that is the top, in case I don't know, you don't want stuff falling out of there and then end up behind here. So it's going to be enclosed when it's closed, and open when it's open. And then I'll put a little floor on the bottom here. I'll just tie it into the lower lip of, you know, this thing here. And I'm thinking in the middle I'll have a track that's open. It has like a peg that sticks through the bottom of the actual drawer. So that's going to prevent it from opening all the way. But if you take the floor and the peg out of the drawer, you're going to make that out of plastic, then you can slide it out all the way. So this way it allows you to get behind here to service, you know, to get at the nuts for these things. I didn't really think this through, I'm just kind of winging it. This may be a video that never gets posted, but I'm having fun. A little too big. That was a little too small for the top. A little too something, but third time's a charm. This is the piece, I don't know if you can tell, but it actually is going to sit in there, and literally that will enclose the little drawer slider. Love the way it fits. Obviously I got to trim this out. That's going to protrude out this way, and then on the side there there'll be probably just 2 screws. It holds itself. Maybe I'll put 3, and then 3 up here too. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna make the actual insert, maybe at the shop, and we'll see how it all ties together. Plan B would be just to put regular tracks on the side. That would alleviate this piece, but it'll make the drawer a little bit smaller, and they're not light. So Still weighing my options. Plan B it is. I was thinking about it, but they incorporate the little stop in the back so the drawer stays in. They also allow you to unlatch it and pull the drawer out if you need to service it. I get rid of the bottom piece. It had a lot of advantages. I just couldn't find any. I just shopped at the local hardware store today and I found these ones. They are steel. They're not the full extension. They're a 10-inch, 3/4 extension, so you get 90% of the tray out, which is fine. But they are lighter than the full extension version, but they're still heavy. They weigh over a pound. So I lost this 1/2 inch on either side of the drawer. But yeah, I made this out of plastic. It's not done yet. Basically, didn't want to waste too much time finishing it until I know that we're going to use it. This is inside. There you can see again, I used the what's it called? Cinch nut, the PM nut. Starting to like those things with a little 6/32 screw that I had actually for the pitot tube. Well, I had leftovers from the pitot tube. And I'll mount the side track on this, and then that will slide in there. I'll show you in a minute. So there she is, useless little stash spot. So this, actually I made it a little bit bigger than these, but I'm probably going to make it the same size so it just all matches. And what I like about it is when you push it in, it kind of locks in, like there's actually no way to get it out. Well, obviously you have to put a handle on it. So during takeoff or anything like that, I don't think there's a chance of it coming out. Another thing we can do is put a little doohickey on there, one of those glove box release things. Or you could put a lock in it. The ignition switch actually came with extra door locks. You can put that on it, but either way, I don't think it's going to be an issue. But if you can't afford the avionics, we make a little spot. But I don't know, it came out pretty cool. I'm going to continue to source some aluminum hinges or tracks that I can replace these with. They seem to all be about a 1/2 inch, thick on the sides, so that's probably less of a problem. But great place to put the fuel sump, phone, wallet, sunglasses, flying glasses, chapstick. Oh, that would melt. I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. I like it. Nice satisfying click. Oh, and there is a sheet, sorry, there will be the piece that goes up here to keep stuff from falling out, or wires from falling in. So that's the top cover that keeps stuff from falling out or falling into the drawer. Except I made it so tight that, I mean, you can force it in, but it's a little too tight. I do have a little room on the bottom, and even though these hinges, looks like I got them on the center line, I might just move them up a little bit, which will lower the drawer and should make it smooth operations. All right, I moved the hinges up a little bit, which moved the drawer down. So yeah, we have a little gap there, similar to that. Nice even gaps around the bottom. And I also put a little handle on it. And look at all the junk you can store in there right off the bat. Sunglasses, a multi-screwdriver, oh yeah, charging cable, flashlight, oxygen, and a knife. And what's cool is it's on ball bearings, and it has a very solid like lock-in. I don't think there's any way that this is gonna pop open in flight. Put a little carpet in there. I recessed these screws that hold the tracks, and used the little cinch nuts to hold it there. And if you need to get behind it, there's these little releases, and you can pull it out to service it. I don't know, I haven't seen it done yet. There's probably a reason people don't do it, but I think it's pretty cool. And if we ever wanted to add another piece of avionics equipment, as long as it's the same size as the autopilot, we can do that. So that's my useless drawer video. I hope you like it.